Y'all can follow the Democratic Party to hell if you want to. But we ain't going with you. Consider this our formal public announcement. We ain't coming to the cookout. Can't do it. Won't do it. So you can take my wife off all these ebony idolatry email lists, and you can remove her from these text chains that's full of fear-mongering, false facts, and fake news. Because we ain't buying it. If you think that we are voting for Kamala the Chameleon, you need to be drug tested immediately. So we already know that we're no longer a part of the community and we are uninvited to the cookout. That's cool, because we don't care. Our black card is revoked. That's fine, because it's worthless to us. You know, we tried to warn friends and family 4 years ago, but nah, y'all was riding with Biden. And how did that work out? Economy, inflation, crime, gas, food, savings. This was all predictable. Illegal aliens. If you just follow the history of Marxism and all of the countries that failed to communism. So you can trash Trump, but we know how the majority of Americans were doing under his administration versus this woke train wreck cackling chameleon that took nearly a month to come out with any policies. And when she did, she tries to steal Trump's no tax on tip policy, assuming that her comrades in the media wouldn't call her out on it. Then followed it by dropping straight communist price fixing plans that is so ass backwards, even they couldn't go along with it.
It's so bad, the same media that's been propping her up all of a sudden over the last 30 days, when before they reported over and over that nobody liked her, well, they're starting to tell the truth again and calling her out. From this Washington Post headline to CNN.
I think this was a masterclass in sticking to the script, keeping things very voter friendly, keeping the details incredibly light, and not talking about how you have to pay for it all. If it wasn't even just about not paying for it, she said she was going to reduce the deficit despite all these giveaways as well. And I understand that's politics at this moment, but I think your point is so accurate when she was talking about all of the things that are impacting people, whether it's high prices, and we know prices have soared over this administration, unaffordability crisis in housing. I mean, house prices, the median house price is up 20% over the past 3 years. She talked about the profits of grocery stores. Their margins are incredibly thin. For every dollar sale, they make profits of around 1 to 3 cents. Just try proving that their price gouging is going to be incredibly difficult beyond anything else.
But you know who will? The Afrostocracy. That's right. First came the black boule sellouts. Then the pulpit pimps came with their DNC script.
The queen of the Jezebels, Curry Queen Kamala, went down to Georgia, Lithonia, Georgia, Stonecrest, to New Birth, a church headed up by the boule. I'm talking about Jamal Bryant, who shouldn't even be there. Kamala walked into the church like she was the Queen of England, met with a bunch of praise from the AKAs, the other boule, as well as people just plain old and stuck.
And when that didn't work, they sent out the compromised comedians and the cross-dressers, demanding we get in line.
I'm just sick of the black people on the internet talking about I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump. And y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook and on Instagram and social media and stop. Like, that's just garbage. We need to stop, black people. Stop it. Stop attacking Kamala Harris. Stop it with the self-hatred.
Well, that's not working either, Ricky. And at no point in my life have I ever seen so many blacks rejecting the lies of the Democrats. And they see it.
Hey, listen, we are not going to be fearmongered into voting for Kamala Harris this time around.
Y'all trying to act like scare me into thinking that he's so bad that I should just vote for this broad just because. But guess what? I feel that she's so bad. She's the one that scares me.
Kamala, I think it's just time. It's time that you come out and tell people who you truly are. It's time you come out and say, y'all, I work for the devil. I work directly for the devil.
And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy.
Right.
Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
And that's why they want to bring as many illegals here and attempt to fast track them to citizenship, so they can vote for our demise. And who was responsible for the border again?
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
See, she knows that too many blacks waking up and thinking for themselves means the DNC won't get 90% of that vote.
Everybody says that the Democratic Party, has an agenda behind bringing immigrants over because they can no longer depend on the black vote. So they're trying to replace our votes.
So they will triple down on the lies and the usual scare tactics that they do every 4 years, hoping that you never research the history of who they are.
The Democratic Party has been the party of slavery from 1800 to 1860, the party of the Confederacy from 1860 to 1865, the party of Jim Crow from 1865 to 1965, 100 years of rape, castrations, murder, black people down south. And now it's the party of Marxism, anti-Christian bigotry, transgenderism, abortion up to the 9th month, open borders. You name it, they do it.
And so that's why I'm so grateful for all you independent content creators on social media who are exposing these lies that have been used to fool multiple generations.
If she was out here advocating for school choice, parental freedom, upholding the Second Amendment, low taxes, energy independence, fair trade agreements, a closed and secured border, but she's not. She wants to advance wickedness. She wants to advance communism. People who love God in this country are pushing back against that. It ain't her gender. It's not that she's a female or that she's fake black. It's those trash policies.
I've prayed to see this day for the last 25 years. And I only wish that men like Herman Cain and Dr. Walter Williams were alive to see this. To be willing to speak out against the powers that be, regardless of the social consequences. To call out the lies of the Afrostocracy. The reality is my father-in-law planted powerful seeds of conservative values in my wife that I've been blessed to come along and water. Her journey over the last 8 years has been amazing and is similar to many of the walkaway testimonies. You see, she accepted my challenge to examine the DNC platform and the policies they promote. She saw how their comrades in the mainstream media constantly lies and run cover for them. Trump is just the tip of the iceberg. They have been running this scam for decades, and blacks have been the guinea pigs for every communist, Marxist, demonic plan that they've created. Last summer, we went to Tuskegee, and it was the first time that she had been back since she graduated veterinary school. She had such a great appreciation for Booker T. Washington after doing a deep dive into his life and teachings. And sadly, too many people that look like us have abandoned them. But why? The answer will explain exactly why we are where we are today. And that's why we are committed to getting this documentary to as many people as possible.
The Democratic Party is the evilest organization in the history of the world. Look at what they've done to us. Look at what they've done to us. Look at what they've done to us.
Working with Vince Ellison and April Chapman has been an honor for us. This dream team coming together has been God using you. When you had those brothers come out and expose who Margaret Sanger were, you've inspired a generation of fighters.
Wow.
It would not be right if we did not present you tonight with the mic drop. Standard House Media has been fielding inquiries from cities in the state of Florida, Texas, Alabama. This is awesome. Bringing this documentary to Atlanta was an event that we'll never forget. The sacrifice of time and money and travel is all worth it. To get the chance to come together with other believers and affirm that we choose Christ over color and we choose biblical over blackness.
So when Donnie called out the black church, I am confident that he was calling out the apostate ethnic expression of black Christians who, at the end of the day, they will ride with the Democrat Party all the way to hell in a handbasket with gasoline draws on, just hot booty on fire. That's who he's talking to.
Y'all can follow the Democratic Party to hell if you want to, but we ain't going with you. It's time for us to wake up, to grow up, and to step up.